everybody, and welcome back to another episode of MIllennium Live. My name is Kaylee Allen, and I'm so excited today to be joined by our guest, Andre Cuenin, who's the Chief Revenue Officer at Rapid7. Andre, how are you?
Yeah, listen, I'm doing fantastic. It's great to be with you today.
Yeah, so happy for you to be with us today. And then I know we'll see you again coming up here at our upcoming transformational CISO assembly in Miami next week. So I'm really excited to get to know you and get to learn more about Rapid7 today.
Yeah, look, likewise, Kaylee. Looking forward to the event, and yeah, it's fantastic to be here.
Awesome. Well, let's kick things off. Let's tell me a little bit more about yourself and your background.
Yeah, look, I've been here with Rapid7 for just a little bit under 2 years, right? I'm based in Denver, Colorado, originally from Zurich, Switzerland. And yeah, look, really excited to be here at Rapid7. We have a tremendous opportunity helping, our customers advance their security programs and frameworks. So, exciting opportunity. It's obviously a top of mind for many boards, CIOs and CISOs, and it's still an item that has tremendous visibility and attention.
For sure, I can definitely see that, and that's what I hear a lot from these CISOs. And I guess going off of that, cybersecurity is a crowded marketplace, as you know, and CISOs can often find it difficult to tell all the players apart. So, what makes Rapid7 stand out from the crowd?
Yeah, look, let me first address the first part of the question, right? Putting yourself in the shoes of a CISO, right? Some of the research shows that an average company has about 45 different security products, right? Which means it's a tremendous amount of products, and the CISOs are then challenged to walk the balance between, hey, best of breed and integration, right? And sometimes those two strategies fight each other. So at Rapid7, we have a very intentional approach. On one side, having best-in-class products, we call it best-in-class versus best of breed, but then also integrating different products to solve the integration product problems for our customers. The way we think about it, really think to simplify it a little bit, think about managing risk, so reducing the attack surface with different solutions, and then also managing threat, both threats that you have against your own company, but also what's happening outside of in the Wild West or in the world in terms of dark web visibility, et cetera, and so forth.
And Andre, you just mentioned board visibility. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you mean by that?
Yeah, look, a great follow-up question there. I would say, when you look at boards, right, they're all worried about brand protection. They're worried about ransomware. They want to make sure that there is enough protection within the company to prevent those devastating potential events. And with that, a lot of CISOs, right, they'll regularly have to present in front of the board and explain what they're doing about it and what the risk posture is. So, the way we look at this is you really need to start running security like a business, right? We like to call it operationalizing cybersecurity, so that you really define what we call protection level agreements between the board and senior executives and the business lines and the security practice, right? So that it's clear what risk is a company willing to take and what it's not willing to take, and also what resources, whether that's human capital, whether that's technology, whether it's processes, is required to then have the right protection level agreements.
Yeah, that is really interesting. It makes a lot of sense. Boards are a huge part of any organization. And can you tell me what, in your opinion, are the biggest security threats facing businesses right now?
Yeah, look, everybody is obviously worried about ransomware, right? And I guess, what I would like to talk about a little bit, what can you do to not be exposed to that, right? Or being in a situation where you have a ransomware situation for your own company. And there's really two things, right? One is reducing the attack surface, And, the way we look at it, managing risk, whether it's vulnerability management on the devices and servers, whether it's application security on the application layer, or whether it's cloud security, basically the assets that you manage as a company that you're responsible for, to make sure there is no vulnerabilities from a configuration point of view that allows, to attackers to get in. That's kind of the baseline, right? And then the other side is, as there's always something that can happen that's unforeseen when you're under attack, right? That you are able to detect it fast and respond fast, right? So even in a situation that's critical, to be ahead of the curve. And what we recently invested as a company is, external threat intelligence, where you actually also have visibility on what's not in your control. Hey, are your credentials on the dark web for sale? Is there phishing websites against your company? Are there VIPs that are getting impersonated? So really to have a holistic view to get you ahead of the curve to manage risk and manage threats.
Yeah, those are all huge buzzwords, huge issues happening right now that I hear from many CISOs. And I guess shifting back to Rapid7. So Rapid7 has a global footprint. And in your experience, do you find that the struggles are basically the same wherever you are, or do some differ by region?
Yeah, look, it's a great question. I just recently, came back from an APAC trip, and a little bit before spent a couple of weeks in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I would say, the commonalities I'm hearing across the world, one is labor shortage, right? I mean, there's just more demand for cyber specialization versus there is cyber talent on the market. I think a lot of people are challenged with that. The way we address this at Rapid7 is, first of all, we support MSSPs, right, with our solution that drive solution to customer, but also have managed service wrappers around some of our products if the customer doesn't have the people to actually manage the program, right? I think that's what we definitely seeing a lot. The second piece I would say is, we spoke before a little bit, board visibility and operationalizing cybersecurity and managing cybersecurity as a business is also the investment justification, right? You need to have the right dialogue with the stakeholders to make sure you get the right funding to actually protect your company, whether it's risk management or threat management. I think that's the second piece. And the last thing, which, I'm speaking a little bit more about commonalities versus what's different, because I think the commonalities are greater than the differences, is really helping customers with the integration challenges, right? The more different solutions you have, integration challenges, actually are an exponential function based on the number of solutions you have, to really take that burden away from the customers by driving more integrated solutions for them.
Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of what you've talked about so far in this conversation, everything really does, loop back together. And in your experience, what advice would you offer CISOs and other organizational leaders who are going through these struggles, like, board visibility and the labor shortage? What would you offer them as advice?
Yeah, look, there's probably not a simple answer, but what I would say is, right, just going back to the stat that in average companies have 45 different security products. I think nobody really wants to have 45 different products or vendors, worst case, right? I think what I would advise CISOs, hey, find strategic partners that can solve more than one use case, that also give you a roadmap how to operationalize and improve your security program, and walk the balance between best in class but also integrated solutions. I think that would be my biggest advice. Find your strategic partners, and I think at Rapid7 we're a big believer that we can help CISOs solve many different use cases and be one of those strategic partners for their program.
Our time's coming to an end, but I want you to leave our audience with an answer to this question. So, looking into your theoretical crystal ball, what do you see coming in the not so distant future from a security solution standpoint?
Yeah, look, looking into the crystal ball, right, is always challenging. I think what I would say here more conceptually is, at Rapid7, we invest a tremendous amount of resources in research, right, to actually see what's happening from a global threat landscape. We have, for example, a project Sonar, which gets visibility in the global IP structure and give a lot of customers or non-customers, visibility into that without even being having to pay for it, right? So we're trying to, help the broader good of cybersecurity. And then obviously on the commercial side, we bring all that research into our products to make the solution stronger and better. So, I think crystal ball is, hey, always go for a partner that, has a strong research capability, A, and B, gives you access to some of it, without being a customer, but also then has a commercial program on how you can really, then partner and strategically and solve many of those use cases that are out there for CISOs.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how that all plays together and comes together in the future. We'll have to follow up on that for sure. Well, Andre, it's so great talking to you. Really enjoy working with you and with Rapid7, and we look forward to seeing you at our next event.
Yeah, sounds great, Kaylee. Looking forward to it too. Thank you.